Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this webinar today. We had over 200 people register, so that means a lot of you are very serious about your marketing. Congratulations. I'm Jenny Kane. I'm the VP of Marketing for CoreFact, and I've got with me today Anna Campbell, our Integrated Marketing Manager, who's going to be running the show. Say hi, Anna.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you. She'll be running the show, and then we'll be taking questions. So I want you to notice the question box on your GoToWebinar control panel. If you just open that up, and that's where you're going to be typing in your questions. And your first assignment is, can you hear us and can you see our screen? We wouldn't want to talk to each other for 45 minutes. So if you could just put in that, oh, thank you. Thank you, Sierra. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Tammy. Great. I'm glad you can hear us. We will do questions at the end, and if you have to leave early, this will be recorded. It usually goes out about 24 hours after the event. So, and just to give you a little background on me and Anna, we've both been in real estate for a number of years, and Anna was herself a realtor in a past life, and I've been working with real estate and mortgage companies doing their marketing for 20 plus cough cough years. So you've got a good team behind you at CoreFact, along with the other senior managers. They've got a lot of background in real estate too. So let's go to the agenda, Anna. Go back one, if you don't mind. There you go. So we'll just do a quick company overview, and then we will get into the 8-point plan. But before we, go to the next slide, and then I'll go to my point. I had issues with my last webinar, so that's why Anna's running it instead of me. I couldn't show my screen, so that was not a good experience for everybody. So a little bit about CoreFact. If you don't know that much about us, we were founded in 2005. We're known for creating the key code tracking technology for postcards, so you can measure who interacts with your postcard. That key code has been turned into a QR code about 3 years ago as QR codes became more prominent, and with COVID and all, so people have no problem scanning those, and we've noticed a higher use of the QR code generating those leads to you. We have about 120 team members located in either Hayward, California, which is our headquarters, or Louisville, Kentucky, so we can service the whole nation with our print materials. And before we go to the next slide, Anna, I just want to pose the question, why do a marketing plan? Well, you should do a marketing plan every year, but it's especially important right now with the market as it is. You want to know where you're spending your money and what you're spending on, and if it is producing results for you. So now more than ever, you need to know what your spend is, and you also need to be marketing in a down market. For those of us who have been around long enough, we've seen agents really build their business in a down market. It's not the time to stop marketing, it's the time to double down on marketing. And as the famous Yogi Berra said, next slide. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. So it's really true. If you don't have a roadmap, a personal marketing plan to keep you on the road to where your goal is, you'll be all over the place. So that's a real reason. So you can plan, you can strategize, you can plan, and you can execute, and then you can measure. So this thorough marketing plan that we're going to walk through also helps keep you motivated. You know, if you want to, like New Year's is coming up and resolutions will be made. I want to lose 10 pounds, you know, in the next 6 months or by the end of the year. If you don't write that down and put it in front of you, like I've got a cork board in front of me, and place it where you see it every day, it doesn't work as well. I mean, that's a pull method, right? You start telling people you want to lose 10 pounds, and then they're holding you accountable. It's the same thing here with a marketing plan. You hold yourself accountable. So the things that we're going to go through today, and this is not all inclusive, but a target audience that is critical to your marketing success. You have to have the right audience. You have to know if the market you're looking at is turning over, what's the turn rate of it, what's the makeup of it at. You need marketing and advertising plans, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, other activities to support your goals. Maybe that's online, offline, whatever it is, community. You need to strategically think about that and put it in your plan. And then, of course, the dreaded detailed budget, but it doesn't really have to be dreaded. Neither does the marketing plan. So we're going to go through this and point by point and show you how you can build one. And we're going to give you some tools. You'll notice maybe in the chat that we put 3 links. One is a free real estate business plan template, and the other 2, one is the free marketing calendar template, which I'll show you today, and the other one is this 8-step marketing plan that I'm going through, but in text format. These are all in our academy, and if you're not familiar with it, you should, because we offer you a lot of free things there that you can use. Okay, Anna, next slide. The first thing to do is define your objectives and goals. So you have to develop a big picture of your business and then quantify that vision with measurable goals. So what is your big picture? And really that depends on where you're at in your real estate journey. If you're new, your big picture might be to dominate a neighborhood or area, get your name out there and get it known. If you've been in the business for a while and maybe you're on the edge of retirement, maybe you say, I want to retire in 5 years and I really need to ramp up before I do that. I mean, everybody's going to have a different big picture vision. Like I said, wherever you are in your journey, but still these 3 bullets remain. So how much money do you want to make? So that's going to be everything. You're going to work from that and go through every detail. So how much money do you want to make for 2023? Whatever it is, 75,000, 200,000, a million, whatever it is, you need to look back at what you did previously. And of course, between June 2021 and July, August 2022 was just the best market ever. I mean, that was a great market. So what you made during that time, it might not look like that, the next 12 months. So you need to factor in market conditions as well, and number of listings that will take to get you to that number. So that depends on your split, obviously, and then the price point of the market you're working. So all of these have to be considered. It's not really a hard thing to do, but you should maybe look back 3 years. Also the number of referrals, you'll want to look at that, or from your past customers and SOI. So how many did you get last year? Was that a reasonable number? Do I want to stretch out from that? You have to look in all 3 of these categories, what you did last year, and consider the market, and then figure out if you want to do the same amount, you want to stretch it out, you want to back it up a little bit. That's fine too. Whatever your goal is, you just need to keep a focus on that. Be specific, but be realistic at the same time, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. You want to have something that you can reach and feel good about. Okay, Anna, thank you. Next one. So here's the target audience piece. So this is a key to your success. So you can do 1, it depends on the number really, or 2 groups to target. You could do a geographic farm and you could do a lifestyle farm, whatever it is. It can be more than 1, but you need to make sure that it's big enough to net the results that you're trying to get, right? So you can't just market to 100 people and expect to get 10 listings out of that. It has to be, I mean, my minimum would be 250, but 500 is probably a better number. But a lot of people do, 1,000, 2,000. So whatever you want to do that you can afford, choose from one of these or other areas to be your target audience. So mostly that's a geographic farm for the majority of agents. And if I'll ask you a question, I want this to be kind of interactive. How many of you are consistently doing geographic farming? Just put yes or no, and I'll keep talking through this. So in your geographic area, if you want to target that area, and of course, sometimes you want it to be your neighborhood, but you've got to look at the aspects of it, all the conditions of it. What is the turnover rate? You know, it needs to be at least 6 or 7%. You know, what are the age of the homes? You know, what are the mortgages? Your title agent, if you're working in a state with title, you know, can help you with that, because you want to be set up for success. You also want to look, is there another real estate agent who's dominant in that market? You know, if they are, that might not be successful for you as a new person coming into that farm. So look at all aspects and make sure you're setting yourself up for success in a geographic area. Of course, you could choose age groups. If you're a millennial working with, and you want to work with, you know, like kind of age, you can. There's ways to do that. If you have an SRES, maybe you want to work with seniors. So there's ways to break down the age groups, income brackets. That usually equates to a higher price point, and just know that there could be more expenditures if you're marketing higher end listings. So that plays a point. You'll be spending a little bit more money potentially. Ethnic or culture groups, sometimes, you know, you have an affinity towards that, and that's perfect, and you understand that specific ethnic or culture group, and you would be a good match for that. I applaud that. Levels of education or certain professions. I've known agents who just worked with doctors because their spouse was a doctor and they understood them. So, you know, if you have if you understand certain groups, then it's great to work with them. You know, and there's more. You could do non-owner occupieds. You could buy a list of those most likely to sell. I'm not sure if that's a good idea right now, but there's ways you can do that through your own data as well, by looking at age of mortgage and things like that. So whatever feels comfortable to you for a target area, you know, just do it, I would say. Oh, I see a lot of people say no, they're not farming. Okay, I'm going to talk to you. And yes, if you are farming and you haven't seen you know, great results from it, maybe it's time to change. So if you have a farm that's working, that's awesome. I applaud you. If it's not working and you don't have one, I think you should get it. I think I'm totally bullish on farming right now. It's a perfect way to market to an audience. Whatever your audience is, I could call this farming of any sort. It's worth your time. Even if you have to do 250, it's only going to cost you around $200 and change per month to just get started. But this drip system, this farming system where you're dripping on people every month, it's a winner. It's a winner long term, and it can be a winner even short term for you. So big on farming. Okay, Anna, next slide. So differentiation. So, you know, there are a lot of agents that you're competing with out there in your town, wherever you are, and you need to differentiate yourself to the extent that you can to look different than others. So, and you can do research on your competitors. So, you know, looking them up, it's not hard to look them up on the internet and see what they're saying about themselves, but you need to try to find something unique in your approach and not sound like everybody else. So you all have qualities and skills that are unique to you, and a combination of those that would probably create a uniqueness for you. You just need to figure out what that is. So maybe it's your education. Maybe you have an MBA, for example, and that would be a benefit, that you know numbers really well. Maybe it's a residency in your neighborhood for a long time that you represent. That would mean you know everything that's going on in that neighborhood. You know all about the houses, you know who people are, you know when people are thinking about selling, you know about the activities in the community. So that's a benefit to you, for you. A leadership role in the community or a professional group. You could be a chamber ambassador, for instance, and that means you have a very deep knowledge probably of the city and the businesses that are there. or even a professional group like a women's council or something. That would mean that you would have insight into trends, topics, what's going on in the market. So you can use those to your advantage. What you need to do is just show off your talents and figure out what those are. My tip is write in 15 words what makes you different. So write them down, not more than 15, but 10 to 15 words, and then read them aloud, share them with other people, and then make that your reason to use you. Why use me? Well, these reasons. And if you go to the next slide, so once you create that differentiation and you know those 15 points, then you can define your message. So what, and if you can distill that into a tagline, great. But if I say one or two, three at the most sentences, that would at a glance, people would understand who you are and what you do and why it's a benefit of them to work with you. And then maybe you can expand on that, a paragraph or two that would go into your agent brochure, but keep that short 2 sentences that show benefits of you at the top of everything that you do. And you want it to grab their attention. You want it to make it appeal emotionally to them, but really focus on the elements that you think are most beneficial to your client and capture that attention. And then you have to repeat that, over and over. And I'll talk about that in a minute too. But people have to see you like 11 times. It used to be 7, that whole thing. Oh, well, they have to see you 7 times some way or one way or another to know who you are and what you do. It's 11 now because of all the media that we have available to us. And I'll talk about my 360-degree marketing approach to this in a second. But that's why you have to keep it consistent. And you're going to hear me say consistent a lot during this, but consistency is the key. And if you tell them the same thing over and over, they'll finally get it. Oh, okay, I get what this person is all about. Okay, Anna, next. So determine the best media. So there are a variety of ways that you can market, and each of them will be a different cost to you and your budget. So there'll be some free things, some, well, not free, but your time. But we'll go through all those. But this is my 360-degree marketing. So in print and print advertising, that's going to include like this lovely new 8-page brochure that we put on our store just like a week ago. Not shown, postcards, obviously, with that QR code, newsletters we have. So any type of print marketing or print advertising you would do. We're going to select 2 or 3, maybe 4 out of these ones that I'm going to show, but there are multiple ways that you can use media. So print advertising is one. Online advertising, this can include, like we're showing here, realtor.com, or if you're on Zillow, or if you're partnering with the local newspaper's website online, putting ads in that. Any way that you would be advertising online. Social media ads would be advertising online. So I know it's like there's so many, so what do I choose? And I think you have to be discreet with your money, especially right now. And you can look at, you can look at reach and impression, and you can look at goodwill too. So that's something that we don't often talk about, but if you support the Chamber of Commerce or the local newspaper's website by putting ads there, that's a brand impression of goodwill, and that's worth something too. It's not all about getting a lead, or selling this house because I put it on the Pleasanton Weekly's online site. A lot of it is about brand recognition, seeing your face there, and then goodwill. I'm supporting the local newspaper. Okay, Anna, the next bullet. In-person marketing, I think it's a big deal. And my Farming 101 webinar that I'm doing next month, look for that in January. In that, I talk a lot about in-person marketing. and the goodwill effort that also brings. So we're showing an open house at door hanger, and these days you don't really even have to knock on the door. You can just leave the door hanger there and say hi to the Ring doorbell. But in-person marketing can mean walking the neighborhood, putting out a flag on 4th of July, a pumpkin on Halloween. It could be going to community events. Anytime somebody sees you, and even if they don't see you when you're walking the neighborhood, they see the thing that you left. And then that shows commitment and how you market, right? You see how that confers to you that you're a great marketer, and that you heart the community, so to speak. So I think that kind of in-person marketing that just costs you time and maybe sometimes money, you should incorporate that into your marketing plan. I think I have one more bullet there. Oh, social media, of course. How many of you love social media? How many of you hate social media? It seems to be like a yes and no. So for social media, you do need to be on social media, and I think everybody probably knows that. You do need to be on it, and we'll talk about how often you need to do it. But we have Social Share. I'm not sure if you know about our social media platform, but it's really easy to schedule and post. We have a scheduler on there. You can do like 6 months. We have campaigns you can do a year at a time. So you can save time, because I know your time is valuable and you need to be out on the streets looking for new business. So this part of your marketing, you can kind of sort of put it on autopilot. Of course, we have open house and pending and so just listed and just sold templates that you can use, but you do need to pepper it with, your personality and what you're doing. But these really take up, when I say 3 days a week, this takes up your 3 days a week. You can do your personal ones, 1, 2, 3 times a month if you want, posting videos or closings or whatever you want to do. But this really helps you out from a time-wise standpoint to be able to schedule. And if you already have a scheduler, you know what I'm talking about. It's easy to do social media when you have something. And we're kind of like the Canva for real estate. We're all real estate people, and all of these posts that we have, thousands of them in Social Share, are written by me and Anna a lot of times. So there are captions involved too, so you don't even have to do that. Okay, Anna? So here's your action plan. So what you're going to do is we give you a template. That's one of the, yeah, just hold right there. One of the templates is this marketing plan template, which comes after this, but the link is in the chat. So an action plan is what you're going to do, a to-do list, so to speak, for a set period of time. That's a year, that lists every activity you're going to do to market yourself and your services. So, oh, look, there's that word consistency again. Having it written down and seeing what you're going to do is another one of those. I'm going to lose 10 pounds next year. So you need to have it in front of your face. It can change, and you're going to evaluate. I'll get to that portion, but you need to have it written down. And then you're going to put the budget, which I'll go over next. You'll put the budget in there, and those two things will match up, and it'll tell you everything that you're going to do for the next year. And like I say, evaluate, change if you need to, if it's not working, but at least you have it planned for the year. If that seems too daunting, do 6 months. But I don't think it will be too daunting as I go through I call it predictable and non-predictable marketing. Okay, money that you can predict you're going to spend every month, and money you can't predict you're going to spend every month. So one that can be predictable is farming monthly. So we have a program called Elite, maybe some of you know it. It's a 12-month automated direct mail marketing plan. You get semi-custom designs. You have QR codes on every one of them, whether it's the front or the back or both. So you get that lead gen built in. So if you know you've got a farm of 500 and you're going to do a postcard a month that costs, I don't know, 78 cents each mail. So you know what you're going to spend. That's predictable. If you do it on your own, which you can, and you commit to sending out one postcard a month to your farm, then you'll know what that is too. And you can schedule those out. It's harder to do than this. You can do it, or you can go in every month and do it. Just put a reminder to send something out. Either way, either of those ways, you should start farming, and you can predict what you're going to do. And like I said, even with a smaller farm, you can predict that. Okay, next. Call, email, or text. It should say call, email, or text a certain number of people on your SOI list every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever you want to do. That doesn't cost you anything but time. And with slide dial, you can call and it'll go right to their their voicemail. So you can record it once and it just goes. I don't know if you've heard of slide dial or not, but it's kind of a pretty cool technology if you really don't want to talk to people. But and SMS is a good way too. There are SMS companies that you can send bulk SMSs if you need to, or you can just do it one by one and you do different people each day to take it out in chunks, or email people. And you can do that. We provide on the Academy a bunch of free emails you can send out to your SOI really easily. So do that, put that on your list, even if you're not paying for it. Just figure out a cadence that you want to use to contact your SOI. Okay, next. Post to social media 3 times a week. Use a scheduler and then pepper it with your own personal or business closings. And I know we have another one that's coming. And I talked about this. I think it's really a great idea to attend chamber meetings or real estate networking events. I think it's great to rub elbows with community leaders, business community leaders, and I also think it's great to rub elbows with your fellow agents, whether it be, here in the Bay Area, East Bay, we have East Bay MLS, and they have like a marketing meeting every month, going to that, all the way to going to California Association, your National Association of Realtors, your State Association of Realtors events. Get to know people, get referrals from them. That's another way you need to market. So put that in your budget as well, because it will cost you to go to those, but I don't want you to forget anything. And then the last one is any recurring paid placement is predictable. So if you've got an ad on realtor.com and you signed a 12-month agreement, whatever that was that you're paying for, stick that in the budget too. And I think once you see all of this in the budget, you see how much it costs you, then you can kind of look at it and say, can I add more, or do I need to take some out based on what my goal was, what you decided your goal, your revenue goal would be for 2023. So it really gives you a big picture of what you're spending and not just trying to think about it. Okay, the unpredictable now. So unpredictable are your listings, right? You don't know when you're going to get those. So how can you predict what you're going to spend? And I would propose that you can predict what you're going to spend. You can have a set marketing plan for every single listing, and probably some of you do. I would imagine that you do, but what are you going to do for every listing that you get? This is something you put into your listing presentation. So like for listings, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to do circle farming with a just listed or open house and a just sold. I'm going to send a postcard, or I'm going to put door hangers out to 50 homes. You know what that's going to be, and you're going to do it every time. Next one, Anna, for open houses. Same thing with open houses. You're going to get my favorite thing, property flyer sign. You see it on this post right here. It's like weatherproof and it's super cool, and hardly any agents use them, and it makes you stand out if you do. Open house flyers, how many do you generally do? Are you going to buy address sign writers, which I think these are underutilized. I think everybody should use address sign writers on their A-frames when they're doing open houses. So you know what you're going to do, right? And if you're farming and this listing is out of your farm, I also suggest you send a just sold to your farm. Now that's not going to matter to your sellers because it's already sold, but it shows that you have production, right? So you want to show them that you're actually doing business. It doesn't have to be in their neighborhood. They just know you're doing business. It doesn't even have to be in your town. It can be in another town. Send a just sold out. But when you know what you're going to do for every listing, I mean, maybe if you get a higher end listing, it's going to be a different story in that case versus one in the mid center. If you know what you're doing for every listing, this does become predictable. You know what you're going to do. So you don't know when you're going to get the listings, but you know that you're going to do this when you get them. So if you go back to your business goal, okay, I want to make 200,000. That's going to mean 15 listings at a price point of X. Okay, I know I'm going to have 15 listings. Just put them in there. Just put the dollar amount in there 15 times. And then that way you get the big picture of your budget and not just kind of guessing what you're going to do. And it's a powerful message to sellers. This is what I'm going to do for you. And here are some examples of what I did for other people. You will have examples that you can show. And I think that's a great way to show yourself as a marketer too. I do this for everyone. I do this for all my listings. Again, caveat, unless it's super special. All right, number 7 in the 8-point plan, the dreaded budget. So you don't, like I've led up to this, you don't want to guess about your estimated marketing costs. You want to make sure that you've got at least very close to what your total marketing budget for the year will be. So you need to get, whatever your target market, if it's going to be 500 and 1,000, that's going to make a difference in your budget. Maybe you put in 500 and you go, oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to do that. Maybe I can only do 300. But you'll know how much it is. I mean, you can go into CoreFact and find, how much the cards will be. You can, if you're buying something else in bulk, you can ask suppliers, for discounts or estimates. The media you're going to use, like if it's I mean, you're probably not going to negotiate with Realtor.com, but if you're working with local entities, you might can negotiate the cost. With CoreFact, if you're purchasing in bulk, so to speak, and so you have 1,000 or 2,000 in your farm, you can purchase what we call our purchase points, and that buys down the price of each individual card. And the more you buy, the more it buys down the cost, and you just use that in the cart when you're checking out. But the budget is very, very important to this process. And I don't like numbers, but I feel like in a template like this, it's pretty easy to use. That business template you're going to look at has a bunch of figures and numbers and stuff into it. I like to go kind of keep it simple, and this is kind of keeping it simple. And that plan, this is the marketing plan, and then the budget, you just put in the numbers once you get the plan and you know what you're going to have. So I think that you'll find this pretty simple to do once you just put your head down and go through these steps. And then the last one, Anna. So ways to measure. So one way is ask your clients where they heard about you from. Because I know when I've worked with individual agents and someone I've answered the phone because that's what I was doing at the time, and I didn't ask what they were calling because they acted like they knew the agent. Oh, just have them call me back. And I wrote down the number. I didn't write down the number because he acted like he was a friend, and the agent's like, you're supposed to ask. And of course I always did after that. So ask him, how did you find out about me? And then if they say, oh, I was on Realtor.com, or they emailed you through Realtor.com and it's from Realtor.com, put that in to your marketing plan, right? Put that there, that, hey, Realtor.com. So underneath the last slide that I showed you, make a section for results, right? And you need to have an idea of what you want the results to be, right? When I'm spending my money on Realtor.com, I am not hoping, I plan to get 10 inquiries, And of those 10 inquiries, I plan to convert get listing appointments with 4 of them or talk to them. And then I plan to do a transaction with whatever you think your ratio is from, you can tell from the past when you have a listing presentation, you get the listing X% of the time. You probably already know that. And with CoreFact, with the home QR code, the metric could be, all right, I'm mailing out to 500 a month. I want 10% of them to scan that QR code, right? So you can have a goal for the scans of the QR code. And what you do with that afterwards is you need to follow up. So anytime you get an inquiry, and I could have made another slide for that, is a follow-up. You've got to follow up, whether it's from realtor.com or whether it's from scanning the QR code. It's up to you to be diligent about follow-up. So with the QR code, we have best practices for you. The first one is do a handwritten note card and say, hey, I saw you checked your home estimate online. You know, online estimates can't always predict what the real value of your home is because it doesn't know, the upgrades that you've made. So here, please call me if you want to see a main. You throw in a business card and you're gone. And when that's in your farm, you're going to be sending them a card next month. So they're can continue to hear from you. And a second piece to that follow-up, who scans your QR code, you can send like a mini CMA. So that could be the second piece the next month. And then you're continuing to farm to them. So they're seeing even more information from you as they scan those codes. And then make adjustments. The whole marketing plan it's not like set in stone. You can make adjustments anywhere along the way. You see something that's working really well for you, put more money into it. You see something that's not working well for you, don't spend your money on that. And then calculate the cost per content as you measure along the way. We want you to invest in the smartest way you can, and monitoring your marketing plan along the way, and listing the wins, even the touches, the talks and the wins that you get from them. That will really help you in evaluating things that you're doing. And if you're not doing too much, you'll be able to manage that. The things I didn't list in there that need to go in your budget are things like your CRM, or if you're paying for any technology that helps you market, right? So all of those, I didn't mention probably a lot of them, but all of those you need to put into your budget and into your plan, like CRM, or paying for leads, or buying lead lists, whatever you're doing. But always measure the results of your marketing, and regroup and retool if you need to, and that should help you along the way. You've got it all written down. You're going to follow it diligently. You're going to follow up, and then you're going to measure. And now definitely is the time to do this. You can get a big start to 2023 if you get this done by the end of the year, and you start putting in the farming techniques that we talked about, and doing a 12-month campaign or sending them out yourself. So all of those things you can get started right now, and you'll be on your way. We don't know what the market's going to bring. I don't know. Jerome was supposed to say something today about the mortgage. I didn't see it because I'm working, but we don't know what's going to happen. But if you have the plan, it doesn't matter what happens. You're going to still market, and it's not going to affect you. And people are going to drop out, and you're going to still be there, and you're going to be one of the last men standing. And I hope you are, because that's going to get you more business into the future. So I want to hear all your questions. So I'm going to open it up to all of you agents. Oh, someone said, hate it, social media. Jacqueline said that. But you won't have to hate it if you get like social share or some sort of scheduler. It's really easy. Someone says, hi, I missed the first 15 minutes of the meeting. Any chance I can get the recording? Yes, the recording, Vanessa, will be available to you within 24 hours. You'll get that via email. Frank, thanks for a very informative value presentation and action plan. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate that. Naimi, great presentation, thank you. What do you recommend to keep in touch with past clients? Well, the Elite program offers a sphere of influence. It's every other month. They do a postcard for you. So you might want to reach out to elite@corefact.com if you want to do a direct mail campaign. But also with your sphere of influence, I mentioned that you could call, text, or email them. Just put it in your plan to do that. Depending on how big your sphere of influence is, you'll need to plan that accordingly. But if you use automation like email, or like I said, the slide dial that takes a voice message right into their voicemail on their cell phone, that's another way to do it in bulk. And then that way you could do it maybe once a month. Text messaging, giving gifts to referrers, um, pie giveaways. Some people like this and some people don't, but for your sphere of influence, those are the things I like if you like to do that. I use you through broker, and in the format my proofs are jacked and I can't get up correcting logo. Okay, that is James. James Kane, I'm Jenny Kane. So email me at jenny@corefact.com and I'll help you personally. Anna, thanks for a great webinar. Is the Elite marketing plan month to month? You pay for the cards month to month. Yeah, it's a one-time setup fee because they do like a semi-custom design for you. You can pick like the background and they do your colors for you, and they don't look like anything that's in the store. So it's a special deal, but you only pay the setup fee one time, like forever. So if you do it the next year, you don't pay another setup fee. I mean, I think it's worth it because you don't have to worry about it. You just check, to see who's scanned their QR code. So, I mean, that's my thing. You guys have a lot to do anyway. So to come and have to place orders monthly, it just doesn't seem like, a good use of your time. What does it cost for Elite? It's a $3.99 one-time setup forever. And then it's just the number of cards you send out. So it's the regular price of the cards in our store. Just the setup fee, that's it. They also have perks that go along with Elite. You get coaching calls, like Anna, is it three coaching calls or 4 coaching calls? And you also
Yep,
get, is it 3 or 4?
3.
Okay, you get 3 coaching
Yeah.
calls they check in with you to see how your farm is doing, and are you getting scans, and it's longtime people in real estate, so they know your business and they ask you a lot of questions. Also, you get 20% off of like some of our most popular products, and you get free just listed templates that match your Elite brand too. You don't get the cards for free, but at least everything is branded and it looks the same, which I love that part of it too, because you're creating a brand for yourself as well. Okay. Do you recommend calling your farm after the monthly mailing? You can. I mean, if you have their phone number. A lot of people don't have the phone numbers, but if you have the phone numbers, sure, like a monthly call, especially like right now in this today's market. And we just put out a new market shift series. We called it Educate and now I'm forgetting. The only thing I'm forgetting today. And acknowledge, educate and acknowledge. So the market's in a weird place right now. So yeah, you could call and say, hey, I know the market's in a strange place right now, and mortgages price of mortgages are high, and I just want to reassure you that you have equity right now and you don't have to do anything, but if you want to do something, I've got a mortgage partner who can get really creative, and there's things we can do to buy down the rate, and you might want to have that conversation with them. So yeah, I would say do that for anybody you have a phone number with who's a homeowner right now, right? That's a good conversation to have. Okay, someone asking, the setup fee for Elite is $3.99, one time forever. And just send an email to elite@corefact.com and say you want to know more, and they'll have a one-on-one with you and tell you all about the program. Edgar says, would we have to provide data for market updates to our farm, or does CoreFact input the data? Market updates. Data for market updates. So you're talking about a market update card sent to your farm that would have the most recent solds in the neighborhood? Or are you talking about the farm itself and uploading that? Edgar, give me another answer to that. Gail, what about social media? Okay, social share is, first of all, you can try it for 14 days free. Just click social share on corefact.com, and it's a free 14-day trial. You'll have to put your card in, but you can cancel anytime after 14 days. After that, it's $149.99 a year right now, and $19.99 a month if you want to just go month by month.
Oh, which is a great opportunity. Yeah, and the $149.99 a year is only until December 31st. So that's going to end soon.
Good point. Hello, what type of templates are these for social media? Oh, we have all kinds, Pamela. We have everything, seriously. Seasonal.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah, home estimates. You can also share out market updates, how you did this past year, recipes, really good seasonal holidays. Also, do you like this type of a home or do you like that type of a home? And actually really engaging topics, which is fun. And you can now also share to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, we just added LinkedIn. So it's just pick one post, design, and then post to all. I mean, we've got everything under the sun. Seasonal, we've got, you can, we talk about this on the social share webinar, but we have we have open house or coming soon, open house, just listed, pending, and sold. Plus we have price reduction. We hope you don't need that, but back on the market. But you have like 5 times to promote your listing on social media with these templates. And we have autofill too, so you don't have to upload the picture. We already have your listings, your active listings in your account. So it's really, really easy to do. Yeah, go take a look at it. Just sign up for 14 days and see what you think. Oh, just sold, average price points, active listings. We have cards, market update cards that we can pre-populate, or if you want to give us the comps yourself, you can do that too. And then we have templates where you can just put, like, we have market, I forget what they're called, but where you can put the numbers in. You can say, like, for the year, we have a year-end one, which would be perfect for everybody right now. You can put the number of homes sold in the town or in the neighborhood, the average price, and the days on market. That's something that you can pull yourself, and just in the editor, you can put on the card. So we have automated on some, and then others you can just put it in yourself. Can you add the social share link here, please? Anna, you want to put that in the chat? I do social share and love it. Trish, we love you. Thanks for the testimonial. Okay, Pamela, what was the 149? The 149 is the annual cost for social share. So that's for 1 year, and that ends December 31st. Valeria, hi, can you share what is the cost for print advertising? Well, the only cost, the print advertising that CoreFact does, that's on every product. So if it's a postcard, you're going to see by quantity. So we have it in price by quantity, and it's all inclusive. So when you see the price up there for standard mail, that's all inclusive by mail, by ship mail. We have other things in there. They're all priced differently. And the same with any sort of, when you go outside of CoreFact to realtor.com or Zillow, it's all over the map. You just have to figure out what you want to spend on that and really research and make them give you all of the details, how many visitors they have, what are the normal impressions that people get, what's your click-through rate. So you have to ask those questions when you're talking to those online folks. Okay, gosh, you guys had a bunch of great questions. Valerie got it, thank you. Any other questions? And if you think of something after you sign off, again, it's Ginny, G-I-N-N-Y, at corefact.com. just send me an email. And if you're really interested in taking a deep dive into farming, those of you who aren't doing it, we have, Anna, you want to post that into the chat too? We have, I think we already have it scheduled. We have a landing page you can go to see all of our current webinars that we're having. We're doing more too. And you'll want to come to the Mike Simonson from Altos Research. You'll want to come to that one later in January. He gives the best information ever about the market, and it's like a weekly. So he'll bring the latest on the market and what it's doing from a national standpoint. So I highly recommend that webinar. Okay, Anna, were you able to put the landing page for the webinars? If not, we'll send it out. We can send it out to all of you, and then you can just pick which ones you'd like to go to. How do I schedule an appointment with my current elite campaign? Same thing, just email elite@corefect.com and say you want to talk to Donna. Donna's the one who is probably your contact there, Donna Smythe. Okay, everybody, thank you for your time, and I'm so happy. There's the link to the webinars. If you look in the chat, you can click it. I'm really glad you came today. You've been so attentive, and I hope this was relevant to you and that it spurs you to go and write a marketing plan and share them with us if you want to. I'd love to see them. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.